What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's CJ. This is Out of Bounds, and on today's video we're doing another NBA PrizePicks board breakdown for January 29th. It is about 1:30 p.m. here on the East Coast. So if you're watching this video, just keep in mind that the projections shown in today's video, they change. They change on PrizePicks. They change on RotoGrinders, my preferred site for doing these NBA PrizePicks board breakdowns. So always keep that in mind. Last night was another great night. It's been 4 nights in a row for me profiting. So we have a little hot streak going and we are looking to keep it alive tonight. We're looking to go 5 days in a row here. That's right, Monday through Friday with profits. So the sheet that you have access to if you're a premium PrizePicks member has been doing very, very well lately. If you go to the Winner's Circle channel in the Discord, by the way, link to the Discord in the description of this video, go to the Winner's Circle channel in the Discord and look at all of the premium members posting winning screenshots every night. The sheet is doing work. I put together the sheet every day. It gets updated with all the latest projections. We do a 5-site comparison of all the projections versus PrizePicks, so we get a better idea of, taking the over under on certain guys. Basically, it's everything we do in this channel here on YouTube, but more. So if you're into that sort of thing, then doing the premium PrizePicks for $20 a month is a no-brainer, in my opinion. It just simply pays for itself. But enough about that. We're here to talk some PrizePicks board breakdown for NBA tonight. We got to start here at the top of the board, talking injury news first. Lonzo Ball, he's questionable with an ankle sprain. Joel Embiid, questionable with back tightness. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, both probable to play tonight, so we can expect them back for the Clippers. Thank God. I'm tired of relying on guys like Nick Batum and Reggie Jackson. Even though Reggie Jackson and Nick Batum came through last night, I'm ready to get Paul George and Kawhi Leonard back out there. Karl Anthony Towns is out due to COVID protocol. D'Angelo Russell is questionable due to a right quad contusion. Donovan Mitchell is questionable. He's in concussion protocol, which you don't see a whole lot in the NBA. Kevin Durant is out. He's being rested Friday. OG Anunoby is questionable with a left calf strain. Hachimura is probable. He's on track to return. Larry Nance, questionable. Kevin Love, out indefinitely. Cam Reddish, probable. And Patrick Beverley is still out with a knee injury, out indefinitely. So those are the big names to talk about. Quite a few there, important ones. Enough of that. Let's start getting into doing some breakdowns here. Luka Doncic, I believe last time we talked Luka was at 52 fantasy points. Tonight, he's at 53, so they bumped him up 1 point. Let's take a look and see where they like him over on RotoGrinders. Of course, like we talk every video that I do here, RotoGrinders, my favorite site because they update their projections throughout the day. Plus, we've got it preloaded with the FanDuel projections because FanDuel, PrizePicks scoring, it's the same scoring system. So perfect for us. Anyway, Luka is projected at just over 52 tonight. So that would put him under his PrizePicks projection. In his last few games, 42.8 against Utah. This is a rematch against Utah. So as you can see, he struggled against the Jazz in the last one. 82.2 the game before that against the Denver Nuggets. Very big game for Luka there. Monster game. Then another sort of down one for him. 44-61. Another huge game. Then a 45 and a 33.9. So you can kind of get a feel for Luka. He's been a little hit or miss. When he hits, though, he hits hard. And when he misses, he kind of misses hard, too. So let's take a look and see what his minutes are looking like tonight. 36 minutes. He's a combo guard. Utah ranking 4th against combo guards. We talked Luka struggled in the last one against Utah. Maybe he has a better game tonight. Maybe a bounce back game is in store. This is 2 games in 3 nights for him, playing almost 35 minutes a night. And he puts up 1.57 fantasy points per minute, which is elite status. And then his usage also elite, 36.4 usage rating. Gotta love that with Luka Doncic. Now let's take a look at the game total and the spread for this one. Utah 113 home favorites versus Dallas 109, but this isn't a runaway, a blowout by any means, so I don't feel that Luka Doncic is going to be someone that you should fade in a full game format. This one should stay close and competitive, so feel free to launch Luka at full game, half game, however you want to do it. I think he's a safe play, but it looks like the under's the way to go tonight on him. The next guy we're going to talk about here is... this is weird. Why is the board... I'm sorry, guys. The board is just like a little weird. They got Doncic, who plays at 10:10 p.m. up here. Normally they do it in chronological order here, but it looks like they've deviated from that for whatever reason. Probably because of the promo that's going on tonight, the Luka plus Luka Garza, Luka Doncic. If you have both in your lineup and they both score 40 or more real life points, then you get a 1.25 payout bonus. So keep that in mind. Anyway, let's get back on track. Domantas Sabonis, the big man for the Indiana Pacers, he's projected for 46 tonight. Let's take a look at Roto Grinders and see where they have him. They got him at 45.19, so that is a slight under on today's projection. Opening up his game logs, 48.2 in his last one. Big game there against Charlotte. This is a rematch against Charlotte. Keep that in mind. So he played well against Charlotte in the last one. Game before that against Toronto, well, he only played 10 minutes in that one. So let's throw that one out and move to the next one. 37.3 against Toronto there, 56.7 against Orlando, 42 against Dallas, and 49.8, almost at 50 against the Clippers. So he's been playing pretty well for the most part. Let's take a look at his minutes tonight. He's projected to play 37. He's a post-up big man. Charlotte, they suck against post-up bigs, ranking 24th in the league. This is 2 games and 3 nights for Sabonis. His minutes for the season are at almost 37 minutes, putting up a healthy 1.21 fantasy points per minute. And his usage is at 23.95, almost 24. There you guys might have seen Landry Shamet updated with a new projection of 7.52. So that's what I like about Roto Grinders. They're always putting new projections, new updates out there. But let's take a look at the game total and spread here. Charlotte 109.25 at home. They are the underdog versus Indiana. Indiana 112.75. So this game looks like it's going to stay close. It looks like it should stay competitive. So don't be afraid of rolling out Domantas Sabonis in full game formats or half game formats, however you choose to do it. Again, they like the under on Sabonis. Let's talk LaMelo Ball. It's been a couple of videos now since we've mentioned LaMelo. He's at 27 tonight. His projection has kind of slid a little bit. He's been struggling as of late. Let's see if we can get a read on LaMelo Ball and see what he's going to do tonight. Let's find him down the list here. He's at 26.89. Guys, I'm rounding it up to 27. That's 27 in my book. Let's open up his game logs and see what he's been up to. As I mentioned, he's been struggling. 19 minutes in his last one, 19 points in his last one, 20 in the one before that, 28, 12, and 22. So in his last 5 games, guys, he's only went over tonight's projection of 27 one time. So a stark contrast because this guy was on fire. I mean, look back here, 44, 46, 54. Even these 37s are pretty good. But has been playing reduced minutes. 22, 16, 27, 21, 21. So you'd like to see him get more minutes. When he's out there, he's actually a very productive guy. But his last game against Indiana, 19.3 points. Now let's look and see how many minutes they have him projected to play tonight. So 24, that wouldn't be bad. He's a distributor. Indiana ranking 19th against distributor point guards. 2 games and 3 nights for LaMelo, playing just over 24 minutes a night, putting up a healthy 1.22 fantasy points per minute and a usage rating of over 25. So as you can see, when he's out there and he's involved in the game, well, he produces pretty well. So you would like to see Charlotte play this young man a bit more than they are. Let's move on to the next game. We have not talked Trae Young in a while. We're going to talk Trae Young right now. Tonight, he's projected for 46 points. He faces the Washington Wizards, and that game tips off at 7:10 p.m. Trae Young, they've got him at 42.8. I'm rounding that up to 43. I think that's fair. Let's open up his game logs here. In his last game against Brooklyn, 52.6. He's got a 49.1 against the Clippers, so 2 monster games. Now, 3 games back against Milwaukee, he missed that one. But if we go to the 4th game back, 48.3. 5 games back against Detroit, 64.8, 52.1. Guys, he's been on a tear. He's been on fire. Now, I don't see a previous game log for Trae Young versus the Wizards, so let's move on to the minutes here. He's going to play about 34 minutes tonight. According to Roto Grinders, he's a combo guard. And Washington, they rank just 21st in the league against combo guards, so this is a good matchup for Trae Young. 3 games in 4 nights for Trae Young, playing over 34 minutes a night, averaging a healthy 1.27 fantasy points per minute, and his usage rating is about as good as it gets. It's almost at 35, so 34.78, meaning his fingerprints are all over the basketball for this Atlanta Hawks team. So we got to look at the game totals and spread for this, see if it's going to blow out, see if it's going to stay close. It looks like it will stay close and it will be high scoring. So I like this. Washington, 115 at home. They're the underdogs. Atlanta, 119. So that's a 4-point spread. So this game should remain competitive. Feel free to play Trae Young however you see fit tonight. It looks like a healthy under is the way to go, but the game logs say that Trae Young could pop off again for another big game. So there you have it. Let's talk the guy here on the other side of this ball who's been on fire and who has had trade rumors swirling about his name here. Bradley Beal, projected for 48 tonight. This guy really fills it up when he's out there on the floor. He is a scorer for sure. Tonight's projection on Roto Grinders, 46.27, so we'll just call it 46, make it a nice clean number there. In his last few games, 69.8 in the last one against New Orleans, playing 40 minutes. That's crazy. And then the last couple before that one, 43, 41. Here's another big one, 65.1. He missed this game against Miami, so we'll go back one further against Boston, 47.1. And there you go, 74.9, 53.5. So you know what Bradley Beal can do. He is the ultimate bucket getter. So I don't have a previous game log of him versus Atlanta, so let's move along and talk minutes here. 36 minutes tonight is his projection. He is a scoring wing. Scoring wings, middle of the road matchup for him tonight against Atlanta. I'm not really afraid of anyone versus Bradley Beal, to be honest with you. Bradley Beal should be able to overcome almost any matchup with the volume that he gets on a nightly basis. This is a 3 games and 4 night situation for Beal. He's been playing major minutes. Maybe fatigue is a factor. I don't know. But 36 minutes on the season, 1.44 fantasy points per minute. Very good number there. And his usage rating, guys, is almost at 39. That might be the highest that I think I've ever seen, possibly. Maybe we'll reach someone higher tonight. But 38.93 for the usage is crazy good. Crazy, crazy good. So there you have it on Bradley Beal. They like him to go under. But at any given night, this is the type of guy that can pop off for 50, 60 or more. Let's move ahead here. We got a lot of names, a lot of guys to talk about on this 10-game slate. We have not mentioned Andre Drummond in a while. And as you know from previous videos, some nights Drummond be drumming. And other nights Drummond, well, he's not the drummer boy we want him to be. Let's see what he's going to be doing tonight. He's projected for 43 tonight as Cleveland takes on the New York Knicks. Andre, he's projected for 42.87. Let's round it up and call it 43 for the big man. Opening up his game logs, well, his last game, he put up 62.2 against the Detroit Pistons. He got a 44.9 against the Lakers. A big down game here for him against Boston, only playing 17 minutes. Managed just 20 fantasy points. Going back to Brooklyn 4 games ago, 49.2. And then another down game here, 24.9. So they're not playing Andre Drummond a whole lot of minutes here, guys. If you look at his game logs, he's been under 30 minutes for like 6 straight games, pretty much ever since they acquired Jarrett Allen. They've been giving Andre Drummond less run, but he does produce when he's out on the floor. His last game against the Knicks, we do have a game log here. He played nearly 40 minutes and put up a whopping 75 fantasy points, guys, but do not expect him to play 40 minutes unless Jarrett Allen is ruled out for some ungodly reason. The minutes just aren't there for Andre Drummond recently. He's projected to play 28 minutes tonight, is a post-up big. New York ranking dead last against post-up bigs. So this is a dream matchup for Drummond if he happens to get, more minutes than the 28 that he's projected for. New York ranks dead last against those big men. 2 games and 3 nights for Drummond, playing just over 30 minutes a night. Whopping 1.52 fantasy points per minute. That's elite. And the usage rating for a big guy like him, 31, over 31. So that's quite good. The game totals and the spread here. Cleveland is just a 1-point favorite on the road against the New York Knicks. 105 to 104, so the game's going to stay close. Shouldn't blow out according to the odds makers in Vegas. Gotta love that. Let's move along here and talk another big guy from this game, Julius Randle, the power forward for the New York Knicks. Of course, he's facing Cleveland. Game tips off at 7:40 p.m., at least on PrizePicks. Let's talk Randle and see where they like him tonight on Roto Grinders. They got Randle at 41.97. We're rounding up to 42 for Randle. I think that's fair. And then in his last game, he played 35 minutes, but he only managed 34 fantasy points. So that would be under 1 fantasy point per minute in that game. Previous few games, 41.9, 48, 50.9, and 42.9. Now, we do have a game log of him versus Cleveland back on January 15th, where he managed 38 minutes of gameplay and put up 43.2 fantasy points. Let's take a look and see how many minutes they like him to play tonight. They got him at 35 minutes. He's a versatile big. This is a average matchup, middle of the road against Cleveland. We're not fading Julius Randle. We're not playing him. We're not playing him against Cleveland here. He's playing nearly 37 minutes a night, 1.21 fantasy points per minute, and his usage rating is over 27, 27.28. So again, 42, that would put him slightly under his projection tonight of 43 for Randle. Let's move ahead to the next game. We've got the Sacramento Kings versus the Toronto Raptors. Sacramento, of course, De'Aaron Fox is the unquestioned number one top player there for them. So let's talk Mr. De'Aaron Fox. He's projected for 39. Do we like the 39? Do we like it over, under? Let's find out. Well, they got him at 38.8 on Roto Grinders, so it looks like PrizePicks has done a pretty good job at projecting De'Aaron Fox. Not a lot of wiggle room for us. If we round that up to 39, that's a tie. I mean, that's a situation that you might want to avoid, but let's look at his game logs and see what he's been up to. 41.6 in his last one, 42.1 in the game before that, 37.3, a massive ceiling type game here, 77.3, and then a basement game, we'll call it, 15.7. Terrible. So 2 games there back to back, very polarizing. One very, very low, one very, very high. Against Toronto tonight, I have one previous game log here. Back on January 8th, he managed just 24.9 minutes of gameplay and 33.7 fantasy points against the Raptors. Let's see where they like him tonight. 35 minutes. He's a combo guard. Combo guards have a hard time against this Toronto backcourt. They rank 7th against combo guards. This is 2 games in 3 nights for Fox, playing nearly 32 minutes a night, putting up over 1.1 fantasy points per minute. And his usage rating is very, very good. I would call it elite. A 30 usage rating. So very good there. Let's take a look at the game total and spread. Toronto 117.25, Sacramento 111.75. So, it's in that 5.5 to 6 point range. Could it blow out? Maybe. Toronto's really good, and I don't think Sacramento is all that good typically. So I would put this one probably in the yellow to orange category as far as like a blowout warning. You got to be careful with that one. I would probably feel safe taking De'Aaron Fox in a full game format, but the projection for him anyway at 39, I don't see a lot of wiggle room. I don't see a big edge for us taking the over or the under. I'd probably just avoid him if it was me. But let's move along and talk somebody we haven't talked in a while. That is Mr. Kyle Lowry, projected for 36 points tonight. Let's take a look at Lowry and see where they like him on Roto Grinders. Here we go again. 35.95. So they're right again on the money. PrizePicks is on his projection at 36 if we round up that 35.95 on Lowry. His last few games, 28.7, 16.9. He missed 2 games in a row, going back 5 games ago, 34.5 against Miami, 43.3 against Dallas. So his last couple of games have not been very good, despite still getting a healthy complement of minutes, 32 minutes, almost 33 minutes, and then 37 minutes. So previous game log against Sacramento all the way back on January 8th, well, he didn't play, so we don't have anything to look at there, but let's talk minutes. 35 is his projected minutes tonight. He's a combo guard. Combo guards against Sacramento, not a very tough matchup whatsoever. Sacramento ranking just 25th against combo guards. This is 2 games and 3 nights for Lowry. 36 minutes a night, averaging just under 1 fantasy point per minute. So I like guys who put up at least 1 fantasy point per minute or more. He falls short of kind of that golden rule that I try to live by. And then the usage rating 22.66. So isn't having the best season. I kind of have seen like a little bit of a changing of the guard, if you will, between Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet. This is definitely turning more and more into a Fred VanVleet team than a Kyle Lowry team. Kyle Lowry is still the heart and soul of the Toronto Raptors, if you ask me, but Fred VanVleet is looking like the better guard at this stage of their career. So let's move along to the next one. We've got a very, very enticing matchup here. Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks versus the New Orleans Pelicans, who of course are led by phenom, we'll call him a phenom, Zion Williamson. Let's start with Giannis though. Tonight, projected for 54 fantasy points. Big number, and many nights he's failed to get there for us. Let's see what they like him to do tonight. Well, they got the under here, 51.27, so that put him a few points under. If we round that down, call it 51. Nice and neat, 51. Well, his last game, he was projected, I believe, to go under against Toronto and ended up going over by a few points. 60.1 in that one, 53.8, 37.9, 63.9, and 41.3. So in his last 5 games, he's went over tonight's projection of 54 2 times. So that's how things are going for Giannis. No previous game log of him versus the Pelicans, so let's move on and talk minutes. He's projected to play 33 minutes tonight. He's a versatile forward. Versatile forwards against New Orleans don't struggle. They rank 22nd against versatile forwards. Easy matchup here. 2 games in 3 nights, playing nearly 33 minutes a night, averaging 1.55 fantasy points per minute. That's elite. And the usage just under 35 at 34.56. So very good usage rating. Of course, this is Giannis we're talking about, one of the league's best players. Let's take a look at the game total and spread and see if this game is going to stay close or if there's blowout potential. New Orleans 111.5 at home. They are the underdog against Milwaukee. Milwaukee a 7-point favorite on the road. So guys, I'd probably put this one in the orange category. If I were to put it anywhere, probably like that orange category. There's a little bit of a risk of blowout here. So what would I do? I would probably take Giannis Antetokounmpo or Zion Williamson, maybe a Brandon Ingram, a Chris Middleton. I would take those guys and play them in first half formats only and hope that they go over their fantasy projection. I just don't know if I trust this game to stay close and for Giannis to go over that 54 that he's projected to score tonight. Now, we mentioned him earlier. Let's talk about him. Zion Williamson, 39 is his fantasy score on PrizePicks tonight as he takes on the Bucks. Let's see what they like Z-Man. Well, he's projected for 38.62 over on Roto Grinders, so it's over the halfway mark. So let's call it 39. Let's go into his game logs and see what he's been up to. Pretty good here, 44.4. 40.7, 32.6, 43.5, and a 39.2. So he's got some games in his last several here where he's went over 40. Even this 39.2 would be good enough for tonight's projection of 39. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of his last 6 games, he has exceeded 39 fantasy points. That is a good sign if you ask me. Now, tonight's minutes, 35. He's a versatile forward. Milwaukee ranking 20th in the league against versatile forwards. Not a tough matchup by any means. 2 games and 3 nights for Zion, playing over 33 minutes a night, 1.14 fantasy points per minute, and his usage rating is over 27, so very good usage and fantasy point averages for Zion Williamson. And, as long as the game stays close, well, you could go ahead and play him, but I just don't know that it will. Let's move ahead here and talk my Orlando Magic as they take on the Los Angeles Clippers. And we said that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are both scheduled to play tonight. They are not on the board at the moment. In fact, they don't have any Clippers players on the board from what I can see. So I would expect them to probably be added later on this evening. So for now, no Clippers to talk about, but we will talk Aaron Gordon, because we've just hammered Nikola Vucevic plenty on this channel. They've got the tricky 34.5 on Aaron Gordon tonight. That 0.5. They couldn't just make it 34 or just 35 and make it easy. No, they had to hedge a little bit and put that 34.5 in there for AG. Let's see what Aaron Gordon's projected to do tonight. Roto Grinders likes him at 35, so that would be enough to get over, but it's just a little bit over. It's not a home run over. So let's look at his game logs and see what he's been up to here. His last game, he only played 26 minutes and put up just 12.5 fantasy points. The one before that, 35.7. 3 games ago, he missed 41.3, 4 games back, 45.3, 5 games back, 53.9, 6 games back. So AG's been balling out, except for that last one against the Kings for whatever reason. But I like him tonight. I don't see a previous game log against the Clippers. Let's take a look and see. They got him at 34 minutes. He's a versatile forward. Clippers, they rank 3rd in the league against versatile forwards. So if Paul George, Kawhi Leonard are healthy, I would imagine that one of those guys will probably be matched up with Gordon. So this could be a tough matchup for him. This is a 2 games in 3 night situation. He's playing just under 30 minutes a night, putting up over 1 fantasy point per minute and 23.57 usage rating. So kind of low on the usage rating. And as we just mentioned, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, their projections have popped in here to Roto Grinders. So they like Kawhi Leonard for 43.34, Paul George 35.59. So if they add them to PrizePicks later, there you go. That's where they're projected for at the moment. Now, this game, as far as total and spread goes, Orlando 109, Los Angeles Clippers 105. Guys, I expect that spread to change. I actually expect it to flip. I expect Orlando to be the home underdog and the Clippers, with George and Leonard in the lineup, to be the road favorite. So keep an eye on that total and that spread. And I wouldn't lock any of these guys into your lineups and choose over or under until that is updated. Let's move on to the next game here. We've got Joel Embiid, big man. Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Karl Anthony Towns still out of the lineup for Minnesota, so it will be up to Naz Reid to stop Joel Embiid. And, good luck. Good luck. I like Joel Embiid's matchup here. Let's see how they like him on Roto Grinders. Embiid is projected for 49.38 points. He's currently questionable, so keep an eye on any injury news surrounding Embiid tonight. Let's take a look at the game logs. His last one, 42.2 against the Lakers. Then he missed against Detroit. 57.3, big game there. 53.7, another big one there. And a 65, another big one there. So in the last 4 games that he's taken the court, well, he's went over tonight's projection of 53 out of 4. But he is dealing with some nagging injury type of stuff. So, if you think that slows him down, take the under on him. The projections seem to like the under on Embiid as of right now. And he is a versatile big. Versatile bigs against Minnesota have done well. They rank just 28th in the league. This is 2 games in 3 nights, playing 32 minutes a night. 1.56 fantasy points per minute, very healthy number there, and his usage over 31 at 31.23. So you got to love how involved Joel Embiid is for this Philadelphia 76ers team. When he's out there, he is going to produce. Now, looking at the total and spread, Philadelphia is a big favorite here on the road. 115.75 to Minnesota's 108.75. This is an orange for me as far as blowout goes. I think that Philadelphia can definitely blow this team out. Minnesota's not 100%. As I mentioned, no Cat in the lineup tonight. So I expect Philadelphia to come out and probably blow the doors off of the T-Wolves. So play Embiid in like a first half over type of situation if he does suit up for the game tonight. But I would avoid playing him in full game unless you take the under and expect this game to be a runaway for the 76ers. The other guy that we're going to talk about is D'Angelo Russell. We haven't talked about D'Lo in a couple of videos. He is projected for 36 tonight, taking on Philly. Let's see what he's been up to recently. His projection tonight, where do they have him? Shooting guard? There he is. He's questionable to play. 33.15 is his projection, which would be a healthy under on his 36 on PrizePicks. Let's look at his game logs real quick. Against Atlanta, 15.4 fantasy points. But in his defense, he only played 20.62 minutes. Against Orlando, 37. Against Atlanta, 57. 41.6 against Memphis, and a 39.5 against San Antonio. So no previous game log against Philadelphia from what I can see. But if he does play and this game stays close, which it's not projected to, I mean, he can produce. He has been balling lately. Let's see how many minutes they like him to play tonight. 30 is his projected minute total. He's a combo guard. Combo guards against Philly have done well. Philly ranks 27th against combo guards. 2 games in 3 nights for Russell. Playing almost 31 minutes a night, putting up 1.13 fantasy points per minute, so good number there. And 31.16 elite usage for D'Angelo Russell. So just make sure that he plays, and if he does, same thing as I said with Embiid, you might want to take him in just a first half over situation, as the matchup is good, his fantasy points per minute are good, his usage is elite, and if he's healthy and he's in there, I like him as a first half over type of play. But enough of that game. Let's continue to move on down the line here. We're almost done. We're rounding the corner to the finish line. Let's talk Michael Porter Jr. He's a guy that hasn't been on the board a lot here in recent days because of, I believe it was COVID. Tonight he's projected for 31 as they take on the San Antonio Spurs. That game tips off at 8:40 p.m. Let's find Michael Porter Jr. here. There he is. They don't call him Junior over on Roto Grinders, but 32.22 is his projection tonight against the Spurs. Let's open up his logs and see what he's been up to. His last few games have been pretty good. 33.5, 44.6, 30.2, and a 20.2 in just his first game back. Well, I would probably toss that one out. I think he's got his cardio back. His legs are back under him. And his minutes are up, as you can see. Only played 19 here, but then it went up to 35, and then back down to 27, 24. I expect him to play in that 24 to 30-minute range here against San Antonio. We don't have a previous game log on the board for him against the Spurs. Let's take a look and see where they like him tonight. 28 minutes is his projection. So, like I said, 25 to 30 minutes sounds reasonable for Porter. He's a versatile forward. San Antonio ranking just 24th against that type of player. 2 games in 3 nights for Porter, playing 28 minutes per night. 1.24 fantasy points per minute. Very good number there for a small forward. As you can see, the only person that has more fantasy points per minute at small forward is Kevin Durant at 1.39. So 1.24, very good for Porter. And his usage, 20.96. Kind of not so good there. Looking at the game total and spread, Denver, they are favorites on the road, 113 to San Antonio's 108.5. I'd probably put this one in a yellow category, pending everyone's healthy and plays that's supposed to play. This game could get out of hand here with a spread of nearly 5 points. So mark it a yellow. I mean, don't completely fade it, but you might want to take some of these guys in first half or take the under. Just depends. But again, Porter, 32 is his projection. I would put him slightly over where he's at on PrizePicks at 31. Let's back it up here and talk DeMar DeRozan. He'll be the last guy we discuss on today's video. This one is a long one. We're reaching the 35-minute mark, so let's wrap it up and do so in style here. DeMar DeRozan projected for 37.95. Let's round it up and call it 38. 38, nice projection there. Lately, he's been a bit up or down, hard to trust. In his last game against Boston, 34.5. Going back the game against Washington, he only played 27 minutes, managed 25.6 fantasy points. 3 games ago against Dallas, he played nearly 41 minutes and put up 47.2 fantasy points, 22.9 points against Golden State. Of course, this was another game where he played less than 25 minutes. And then 5 games back against Portland, put up over 45 fantasy points. I don't see a previous game log of him versus the Nuggets, so let's move on and talk minutes tonight. 34 minutes is his projected total. He's a scoring wing. Denver ranking 8th in the league against scoring wings, so not the easiest matchup on paper. This is 2 games and 3 nights for DeRozan, playing nearly 34 minutes a night, putting up a healthy 1.17 fantasy points per minute. And his usage is just a tick under 25, so not bad by any means. I'd call it good, but not elite. Not elite at all. So this game, I'd put it in the yellow range. I wouldn't just avoid DeRozan, but his projection of 38 is pretty much on the money with PrizePicks, so I don't see an edge over or under on him. This might be a situation where you just don't take him, fade him, or pull out a quarter and flip that sucker, and whatever it lands on, that's what you do. You take the over for heads and under for tails, however you want to decide, but this is going to be a tough one. Maybe we can figure it out in the premium PrizePicks spreadsheet that I do every night and get a better idea on what to do with a guy like DeMar DeRozan. But that's going to do it for today's video. I appreciate you hanging in there. It's a bit longer, but as is, the case with these bigger slates where there's 10 games, 12 games, I mean, we got to talk about as much as we can talk about, right? But I appreciate you guys tuning in. I wish you all the best of luck tonight. Until the next video, you guys be good. Let's win some money tonight. Peace out.